The pit rumbles into the arena with its own unique tone. Written and directed by John Harrison and shot by Rick Boda. Based on a story from the Vault of Horror number 40, drawn by Bernard Krigston. Ditching horror today, we still get knocked out with extreme violence and extreme fun. Spectators cheer on a bloody cockfight. The incurring bloodshed isn't enough. They want more. Felix Johnson watches at the sidelines with the next two roosters. He thinks this is cruel. His wife Lila tells him to man up and give the crowd what they want. Elsewhere, Aaron and Beatrice Scott operate dogfights. Aaron wants to quit the business. Beatrice won't let him. It's a different kind of carnage in the show. Professional martial arts. Felix Johnson and Aaron Scott are in the ring. Neither of them back down. If high-def TV was sold to consumers back then, surely we would see the blood spill. The match is ruled a draw. The fighters and their wives get into it on a talk show. This is more Jerry Springer than SportsCenter.
All right, now, but what about the rumors that sabotage forced the judges to disqualify all weapons during the match? I mean, that could have affected the outcome.
The only person who needed sabotage to help win the fight would be Felix Johnson.
That's just the low-class kind of remark you'd expect from someone with Aubrey Scott's background.
Oh, excuse me, Miss Private School.
The wives are more ruthless than their husbands. They're happy to let the men fight while they spend all the money. After the fight, the Scott couple argues. Beatrice calls Aaron too stupid to make a living any other way. They can't afford to do anything else. Not with the payment they just plunked down on a refrigerator. Back to the Johnsons, Lila wants Felix to buy her a new fridge to keep up with the Scotts. Nights pass. The crowd at the Johnsons is pathetic. Lila orders Felix to check out the Scotts arena. Their crowd is huge. Felix speaks with Aaron. The two are friendly. Beatrice got the idea to use 4 dogs tonight. Feeling uneasy, Felix tells his wife. To get back at Beatrice, Lila wants to use 6 roosters, with blades attached to their talons. Felix does not like this. Aubrey Scott and Andrea Johnson are on the phone with their husbands' agents, trying to land their man the lead in an upcoming action movie. Andrea pushes Felix's workout limits. Aubrey leaves Aaron at the hotel while she goes out for some fun. Meanwhile, Wink Barnum needs a new fight to promote when he learns of the Johnson-Scott rivalry. The coverage seems more concerned with Andrea and Aubrey than Aaron and Felix. Wink has an inspired idea. As expected, crowds come in droves. Felix's conscience is not having a good time. Lila just wants money and to be better than Beatrice Scott. The next day, Lila spots Beatrice at a dress shop. She intentionally buys the exact same dress as her enemy. At the local pool hall, Beatrice spreads the word of a 12-dog fight at the Scott pit. Wink pitches chaos in the cage to Andrea and explains the rules of this Malaysian death match. Anything goes.
Yeah, no time limit, no restrictions on moves or weapons. Anything goes, you know. So one man concedes or is rendered totally unconscious.
Define totally unconscious.
Kinda like your husband is already.
Aubrey arrives. The two ladies have a storied past with their own athletic rivalry.
Listen, you bitch, I've already kicked your ass earlier this year in Johannesburg.
I had the flu.
Well, I'll kick it again right here, right now, unless, of course, you're coming down with something.
Are you forgetting Pittsburgh, May '92?
No, I remember. Heard you only had to fuck, what, 2 judges to win that one?
Oh, you lying whore. I had to rip that ugly wig you call your hair right off your head.
You go ahead, baby. You give it your best shot.
Wink interrupts to remind the two about all the money to be made from the match. Plus, the winner will receive that starring film role. Aubrey and Andrea agree. Felix and Aaron are angry their wives okayed the death match without their say-so. Aubrey and Andrea won't accept anything less than a victory, and the other guy dropping dead. Turns out, Felix and Aaron don't really have a grudge against each other. Of course, Aubrey and Andrea don't care. Beatrice couldn't be happier with the night's turnout. Then Lila shows up, wearing the same type of dress as her. Beatrice hits Aaron for his indifference towards her nemesis copying her. She's had enough. Beatrice goes right for Lila, attacking her. The husbands have to hold back their wives from fighting each other. As Beatrice and Lila try to break free, Aaron and Felix's eyes meet. They know what to do. The two watch their wives literally tear each other apart in the pit. Wink hypes up the event. Felix trains in the cage. This looks intense. Aubrey interrupts the publicity.
Amateur hour is over. Say hello to the one, the only, the phenomenal Aaron Scott!
Bitch!
Not one, but two fights have to be broken up. Wink is loving this. Long after things calm down, Felix and Aaron get to know each other and contemplate their rivalry. While buying jewelry, Andrea receives a troubling phone call. Aubrey also gets a mystery call during her workout. The women clash at the cage, each investigating alleged cheating by the other. The two trash talk when Aubrey takes a swing at Andrea.
The hell?
Cameras are on Andrea and Aubrey for the pay-per-view deathmatch. As the wives wail on each other, Felix and Aaron kick back, watching them on TV. The con worked. Wink informs them the studio is rewriting the movie as a buddy picture. I think this is the beginning of a demented friendship. The Pit's comic is more shocking, but the show gives the characters more to do, instead of relegating the men to background complainers. So much hatred flows between the two women, they would have ended up killing each other with or without their husbands. It can be confusing which couple we're following at times, but who cares? Two animal abusers get torn apart. Forcing violence between animals is one of the worst things people can do. Looking further into the human story, there is more than shock value. It's arguable the compulsion to keep up with the Joneses is one of the defining characteristics of the 1950s. Wives in the EC horror comics aren't known for being the most virtuous people, but this story takes them to a new low. While not his first episode as a director, this is the first of 3 Crypt scripts by John Harrison. No stranger to horror anthologies, he directed Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, has written and directed for the Creepshow TV series, and composed the score for the original Creepshow. His adaptation of The Pit doesn't take things too seriously. The cast brings the exaggerated personalities needed to make the story work. Seeing Mark Dacascos, who I recently discovered in Brotherhood of the Wolf, was a highlight. I recognized Margene Holden, aka Shiva from Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and Mr. Las Vegas himself, Wayne Newton, feels like an extension of his sleazy role from The Dark Backward. My lone disappointment with the show is that despite how brutal their fight looks, no blood is spilled between the wives. EC Comics was more than just horror. I appreciate the TV series dabbling in other genres, but the end felt like it called for something gory. Lastly, the Crypt Keeper himself is all decked out for Christmas, and in his tree is the Tales from the Crypt Keeper doll, the same one I have. Happy holidays, no matter what time of fear it is.
We're gonna kill each other down there. That's the whole idea, isn't it?